So it's Barbie, and today I'm back with something a little different. Um, a lot of people don't know, well, any of the YouTubers. I used to work for CPS, which is Child Protective Services here in West Virginia, and I worked there for 12 years. And anyone that works there now or has worked there, it's a very demanding job, and when you work there, it's like you have to hang out with the people that work there because they're the only ones that understand what you're going through. It's a rough job. It takes a toll on you mentally and physically. And it's just hard dealing with that kind of, stuff day in and day out. I had a pretty high workload, sometimes it was 30 a month. And that meant that there were 30 cases, but in that 30 cases, there might be six family members. Six family members that had to be interviewed separately, six different interviews. And, very time consuming. And you had to talk to, what we called collaterals, which was just witnesses to how families interacted with their kids and things like that. But I get asked a lot what it was like working there and what happens, when CPS gets called. So, working for CPS, anyone that works there now probably won't talk about it on social media because they don't want to get harassed. Also, we weren't allowed to talk about, confidential things in a public way, and being public servants, you can't, you know, be have any kind of drama or anything like politically going on. You can't have affiliations. It's like you belong to CPS. Which I understand, but I'm glad I'm away from that now because it's so much less stress, and my life changed for the better once I left. Like I said, I worked there 12 years. But I get asked a lot, like, what happens when CPS is called? And you, if you, there are some bad CPS workers, I guess, but all in all, I think they're all, in it for the right reasons, but you might get someone who's too gung-ho and maybe authoritative, but those are few and far between. I know where I worked, we all just had the best interests of the kids at heart. I'll tell you that if CPS does get called on you and you don't want them to come into your home, they're not allowed to. You can tell them you don't want them to. Now, they may say they have to consult with the prosecuting attorney, which they do, because they do have to come in and investigate. Its law. And that's just something, that they do have to run by the prosecuting attorney depending on the allegations, because if it's saying you don't have food in your house, they have to somehow verify whether you have food or not. And the main goal is to get food for you. So, if you don't want them to come in, just respectfully decline. You don't have to. It's a scary situation, I know, when CPS is at your door. And so you might want to react in a upset way, but try to stay calm. And, just tell them it's not a good time. Can you come back? I'm not saying you can't ever come back, but it's not a good time right now. Don't be confrontational. Hopefully they're not confrontational. And like I said, usually they won't be. They do have to see you within a certain time, but also keep in mind, at least in West Virginia, and I think it's in the U.S., that they can go and interview your child without your permission, at the school. Now, they're supposed to contact you immediately afterward and let you know why and, what the allegations are. Now, when they're at your door, they may not tell you, oh, here's the allegations, because they want to come in and talk to you. And that's when they'll tell you what the call is about. So if you want to know what the call is about, let them in, talk to them. If it's about you not having food and you have food, then don't worry about it. It's a false call. We did get a lot of calls, just people being mean-spirited. But we got a lot of calls that were real. So if you have food, don't worry about it. They still have to do the interview and the assessment, and then, send it on its way. And if you don't have food, they'll help you get some. It doesn't have to be, they don't come to take your kids. They want you to keep your children, and they want you to have a healthy environment for your children. Now, if it's physical abuse, there's a whole lot of different scenarios, and there's way too much that I can't get into in this video. But this one is about whether you have a right to let them in or not. You do. You can tell them you don't want them to come in. Now, they do consult with the prosecuting attorney, which, if the allegation, which means that they'll try to get a way in to interview you is all they need. If they've already seen your child, you want them to talk to you because, you want to know what's going on. But they're there to help you. It doesn't seem like they are, because it is very scary. And they're not going to, like I said, pop off and say, oh yeah, here's what it's about. Because they want to come in, sit down, and get some information. They should, if you ask them what the allegations are, they should tell you. But you can talk to them in a nice way, and usually you'll get more that way. Now, like I said, as far as the no food thing, they do try to help you. So they don't want to take your kids. They don't want to have to go through the emotional turmoil or the physical work. They just want to do their job and make sure that you have everything you need. Now, if you do find that the worker is rude, confrontational, authoritative, threatening, unprofessional, you need to report them. Report them to the supervisor, and the supervisor will talk to them about it, find out what's going on. And, I say report them because if it's a habit, then, and people could, keep calling in about this worker, they don't probably need to be a CPS worker. But just keep in mind that you get more by being nice than by being rude and by being hateful. And that goes both ways. That goes for the CPS worker as well. They can get more by being nice and not being rude and confrontational. So, if you want to know anything else, leave me a comment, because I don't work there anymore. And I can tell you. And I can tell you the truth. And I can also, if you want to know policy, you want to know procedure, I can try to get that for you as well, straight from the books and straight from Chapter 49, which is the legal code that West Virginia CPS workers have to go by. Because it's according to law. So, subscribe to my channel and comment. Let me know what you want to know, whether you like this video or didn't. Some people don't, but hey, a lot of people ask me this, so I just wanted to put it out there. Hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when I upload more videos. And share this with your friends. Let me know what you think. and stick around because I have a lot of stuff on my channel. So I'll see you next time.